So they are moving in the sense of trying to understand what happens for Rashford. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, we touch on Marcus Rashford, but also much more, mentioning Man United, Antony, Chelsea, Margay and more. Let's jump into it together. And so guys, here we are with a new video, new day, new updates. Marcus Rashford is one of the big topics, but let me start with Tottenham because today we have an important confirmation of something we already shared in December, now official. Tottenham confirm Heung-min Son extends his contract at the club one more year, so basically Tottenham took the option they had in the contract to extend the agreement for one more season. We had several reports about Barcelona, but I can guarantee that despite that, Barca never really entered into any concrete conversation for Son. Also, we had reports about other Premier League clubs, but Sonny was always aware that Tottenham were never going to make it happen, not to take his clause. The decision of the club was already clear. They wanted to take the clause. The relationship also between Son, his agents and Tottenham is excellent, and so that's why Son is staying at the club with one more year of contract, June 2026. Then, guys, Marcus Rashford, because Marcus Rashford, as mentioned several times, is going to be one of the big names to follow in the January transfer window. So basically now, in these days, these weeks, let me start saying that the situation of Marcus Rashford is 100% open. So there is still a chance for him to stay at Manchester United. That's something we can't rule out at this point because we are not even in advanced stages or concrete stages with any club. So it's really early stages of the story. So Man United still have a chance to keep the player till the end of the season and assess options in the summer transfer window. But for January, there are some clubs who started moving for Marcus Rashford. Moving means calling, asking for conditions of the deal, planning for meetings, planning for contacts to understand the situation of Marcus Rashford. So they are moving in the sense of trying to understand what happens for Rashford and also how much could cost to lend Marcus Rashford for the next 6 months on loan. Of course, neither of these clubs is going to sign Rashford on a permanent transfer now, but it's just for a loan. And these clubs are Borussia Dortmund, because Borussia Dortmund are showing a concrete interest in Marcus Rashford. They already did a fantastic job with Gittens from Manchester United last January transfer window. The relationship is very good. So Borussia Dortmund are considering this move for Marcus Rashford. AC Milan, because they are looking for an offensive player, and so some contacts already took place, but Milan want to explore the eventual conditions of the deal. So nothing advanced, nothing close, but contacts ongoing. That's the point for these two clubs, Borussia Dortmund and Milan. What I'm hearing is that there are more clubs interested in Rashford, not just these two, so there will be further movements in the next days to understand the situation of Rashford and to understand how it's gonna evolve. So Borussia Dortmund, Milan and probably more clubs to join the race. Galatasaray called this week to understand the situation of Rashford, to offer the opportunity to spend 6 months as a crucial player there in Turkey and then go back to Manchester United in the summer. But my understanding is that Marcus Rashford doesn't want to proceed with this option now. Full priority to top 5 leagues in Europe. So with all respect to Galatasaray, at the moment Rashford is not advancing in these conversations. Galatasaray tried. Galatasaray are willing to wait in case nothing happens for Rashford in the next weeks, but at the moment nothing concrete with them. So let's follow the situation with Borussia Dortmund, Milan and more, and let's see what's gonna happen. I want to clarify something. Why Borussia Dortmund are so attentive to the wingers market? Donny Malen can go to Premier League. Aston Villa are clear favourites, pushing to sign him already a few weeks of negotiations. But also, my understanding is that from Borussia Dortmund, they can feel that in 2025, probably summer more than January, is going to be difficult to keep Jamie Bynoe Gittens at the club, because the interest from Premier League clubs is more than strong. Premier League clubs, and I will enter into details as soon as possible, are really following closely the progress of Bynoe Gittens at Borussia Dortmund. So the club knows that probably they will need wingers from the summer because it's going to be this kind of potential domino on the market. And so keep an eye on many clubs monitoring Bynoe Gittens' progress, especially in the Premier League. My understanding is that the big Premier League clubs are starting to move for Bynoe Gittens to try to understand what's going to happen. So more likely to be summer, obviously, than January. January is going to be more than difficult, but it shows how Borussia Dortmund, okay, Rashford will be alone for January, but in general, Borussia Dortmund are looking at wingers because for the long term, they need to cover that position, and they know that for Bynoe Gittens, the big clubs are coming. For example, my understanding is that several times scouts from Liverpool, scouts from Chelsea, and more clubs have been in attendance to follow Jamie Bynoe Gittens' progress at Borussia Dortmund. Then, guys, I wanted to say something else. Wingers, Antony. Today we had reports of Olympiacos in negotiations to sign Antony. Guys, my understanding is that the deal is not advancing, the deal is not concrete, the deal is not something really likely to happen in the January window. So Olympiacos, as many other clubs, including clubs from Spain, from Italy, calling to understand the conditions of the Antony deal, but Man United are not willing to pay the whole salary of the player. First of all, that would make no sense, obviously, for Manchester United, and also my understanding is that from player side, Olympiacos is not considered a priority now, so nothing really concrete, really imminent into it for Antony and Olympiacos. Yesterday, guys, an exclusive news here on my channels, on my platforms, on Chelsea was about Marc Guéhi, with Chelsea starting some internal discussions about the Crystal Palace centre-back. Then the news was everywhere in the following 24 hours. I can confirm once again Chelsea appreciation for Marc Guéhi and Chelsea point of contact, because Chelsea have a recall clause into the contract of Trevor Chalobah at Crystal Palace, and so they could use that clause as part of the negotiation for Marc Guéhi, who has 18 months left on his contract at Crystal Palace. But also, we have to mention that Crystal Palace have no intention to lose Marc in the January transfer window. So it's not going to be an easy one. Chelsea know that. They appreciate the player. They made some contact to explore this possibility, but my understanding is that at that point is not something really easy. So let's see how Chelsea will decide to move on the market. My understanding, once again, is for Chelsea centre-back position. Let's see if they recall Chalobah, if they go for a new one like Marc Guéhi or anyone else, because there are other options in the list at the centre-back position for Chelsea. And in the offensive position, remember that Chelsea could still do something in the January transfer window. That's my understanding, especially after what happened with Mudryk. And let's see what's going to happen with Nkunku. Then we still don't know the position. We still don't know what kind of player Chelsea will eventually sign, but I can guarantee to you that Chelsea are considering options at the centre-back position and offensive players. And then, guys, on Manchester United, Amad Diallo new deal is almost ready, so just about exchanging all the documents, sent to the agents, check with the lawyers, approve and sign, but it's just formal steps. The process is already started, and so Amad Diallo will sign a new contract at Manchester United. Great news for the club. And then Man United have added Patrick Dorgu to the list of the players they are following at left wing back, playing for the Danish national team, playing for Lecce, doing very well in Serie A. He's a player who's been in the list of Tottenham and Chelsea for Strasbourg last summer. Then Lecce didn't want to sell the player. Now Man United are monitoring him. Lecce will not make it easy in January, but Man United want Milos Kerkez is a target. Nuno Mendes is a dream target, very difficult. And also Dorgu, a player being monitored by Manchester United, also in the list of Napoli with Antonio Conte. And so, guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories. I wait for your opinion, guys, as always, here in the comments. Remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon. Ciao.